Cover illustration of Frances Hodgson Burnett's A Little Princess, Puffin Books, 1961. Margery Jean Gill, 1925–2008, was a British illustrator of children's books. Born in Coatbridge, North Lanarkshire, Scotland, on April 5, 1925, she was brought up in Hatch End, London after her father Oscar moved there to take a job at the Post Office Research Station developing the speaking clock. In 1946 she began studying etching and engraving at the Royal College of Art, married actor Patrick Jordan, and illustrated her first book, Robert Louis Stevenson's A Child's Garden of Verses, for the Oxford University Press. John Ryder, the publisher's design and art director, said her early work was interfered with, rather than aided by her background in etching and engraving, but as her drawings became bolder her work became more in demand, her serious, unsentimental view of childhood suiting the kitchen sink realism prevalent in children's books at the time. Eleanor Graham, the founding editor of Puffin Books, also sought her out to illustrate books including a 1961 edition of A Little Princess by Frances Hodgson Burnett. She worked for numerous other publishers, including Jonathan Cape, for whom she illustrated Susan Cooper's Oversea, Under Stone in 1965, and Chatto and Windus, for whom she illustrated Cooper's Dawn of Fear in 1972, drawing on her own memories of living in London during the Second World War. Cooper said of her work on Dawn of Fear, "She caught the image of the kids I was writing about perfectly, with no communication." She would often travel to capture the landscape and setting of books she illustrated, particularly those by Ruth Arthur and William Mayne, and for this reason a German publisher commissioned her to illustrate a German translation of Arthur Ransom's Swallows and Amazons. She combined freelance work as an illustrator with motherhood. She had 2 daughters, and a teaching job at Maidstone College of Art. As the 1970s went on her work fell out of fashion as publishers preferred cartone or illustrations for children's books, and her output was slowed by arthritis in her hands, and in her later years, cataracts. The last book she illustrated was Anthwaite's Pennies for the Dog in 1985. She did voluntary work in her retirement, including charity collections and Meals on Wheels. She died on October 31, 2008, survived by her husband, the older of their 2 daughters. Their younger daughter died in 1996, 4 grandchildren and 6 great-grandchildren. She was admired by fellow illustrator Shirley Hughes, who said, "I thought her work was terrific." Margery used solid black line with tremendous fluidity and ease. The way her children stood and moved was very distinctive.